Hello, friends and family from around the world. This is Mike with Daily Events Worldwide, and we are on May 19th, 2025. Welcome to another surviving day on the planet, and welcome to the Daily Do, giving you your space weather update as well. Earthquakes, volcanoes, and world weather. I showed you earlier this morning in the sun short that large plasma filament that took off from the sun. Other than that, since then, we've seen one M-class solar flare, which was kind of expected. We see these large plasma filament events. Shortly thereafter, we see some strong solar flares. Having a look now at the last 48 hours, cresting into view or incoming, lots of plasma swirling around the surface. That's where we had the M-class solar flare. Looking at outgoing imagery here, all of this brought to you by Solar Dynamics Observatory, mixed with daily events worldwide. You can see yet again more plasma filaments swirling and dancing around the equatorial region. Looking at multispectrum, pointing out the last 48 hours of events, as well as showing the magnetic field of our sun during this most recent coronal hole Earth-facing event. This thing is stretching right across the southern hemisphere of our sun. Amazing times to witness. Grateful to have you aboard. Thank you for almost 90,000 followers here on YouTube. Almost 20,000 followers on Facebook. Keep sharing and caring, my friends and family. That's what this is all about. No fear here, just aware and prepared. Another quick look at that massive Earth-facing coronal hole deepening and widening across the southern hemisphere of our sun. Here's a look at sunspot regions in motion, as we have three that are Earth-facing right now. 4087 is a beast and lacks the complexity for an eruption. Here's a look at our Earth-facing sunspots. 4092, cresting into view, will be our next big player. Current space weather conditions, we are under R1, minor radio blackout impacts, degradation to high-frequency radio. Solar winds are coming in at 496 kilometers per second. Solar X-ray flux, as you can see, moderate M-class solar flare. Other than that, hanging out in the B range. Proton flux is low. Geomagnetic activity down to a KP2 after being up to a 6 just a couple days ago from the impact of the coronal hole wind stream, which is visualized here in the bottom diagram showing the velocity and wind speeds from this most recent space weather event, as it is expected to last until the 21st. So another 2 days of this. Now look at LASCO 2. There's that large plasma filament eruption, creating a coronal mass ejection, taking off from the north polar region. You can see action all around the backside of the sun. I imagine there were more plasma filaments dancing around there, awaiting for all that to come back into view. Here's a look at tonight's Aurora view line and tomorrow's. Not too much to talk about tonight or tomorrow. Earthquakes past 24 hours. Peculiarly quiet. Rare earthquake here, 5.4. Earthquake south of Easter Island. South America. Bolivia with a 4.3. 4.6 Peru. 5.0 earthquake St. Helena, Georgetown. 4.5 there, northern Greece. 4.1 Poland, Rudna, Poland. As well as 4.4 earthquake here, Jane's Ridge. 4.8 earthquake, Tibetan Plateau, China. Philippines with the 4.9. Just recently, Java with a 4.8. Deepest earthquakes the past 24 hours. Looking at a 4.3. Haiphou, 370 kilometer depth, as well as 401 kilometer depth of Fiji. 5.3 there, Kermadec Trench. Alaska seeing a 4.4 and a 3.5 towards Adak. And as well, Grapevine, California, 3.8 earthquake, largest across North American soil. No real notable earthquakes, but USGS is reporting 226 earthquakes, which is right around average, slightly above average is around 200. Focusing in here on the United States, down into California. This is where we saw the most recent earthquakes. Pine Mountain, California, south of Bakersfield. Minor seismicity at Yellowstone as well. West Yellowstone Lake, Yellowstone, Montana, all minor seismicity. Pacific Northwest, not much to talk about. Carrying on here with earthquakes, this is a look at the last 7 days for shakers and movers around the world. This is where I take the time to tell you to take the time to have a plan and be ready and know what to do when the earthquake comes to you. Much love, everybody. If you live in an earthquake-prone zone, just have a plan. Thank you so much for being a part of this channel. #DoCrew. No fear here, just aware and prepared. Stay tuned. We're expecting something big across the Pacific Northeast. Now let's carry on here with the air quality forecast brought to you by our active and erupting volcanoes. Things slightly diminishing in the northern hemisphere, but not in the equatorial regions, as Kilauea has since stopped its 22nd eruption since last Christmas. Big eruption, eastern Indonesia. Nasty air quality all through India and Iran, the Arab states. Big plume, Central Africa, as well notable plumes coming out of the Caribbean. Now let's have a look at world weather, brought to you by windy.com. Low pressure system stalled here with the big cold high pressure ridge in Canada. Extreme weather to develop daily right up until about Friday. And then the next low moves in. No hurricanes forecast here, just a lot of extreme weather all through the Gulf states and central U.S. Big low pressure system affecting eastern Canada in the long range will bring blizzard-like conditions, and as well a big low for the eastern parts, North America and Canada, and as well big system heading towards Ireland, the United Kingdom. Lots of moisture on the way. Now let's have a look at Africa, Southeast Asia, Australia, and New Zealand, as there are a couple extreme weather events that will be affecting parts of India, eastern and western. As in the long range, we will see a cyclone develop off the coast, the west coast of India, heading towards Yemen, and as well an extreme weather event heading into the northwest regions of Australia, and a strong low pressure system affecting the southern continent and New Zealand. So lots of weather makers this week in the southern hemisphere. Some strong systems developing already, welcoming in winter for the southern hemisphere. Going to leave you here looking at the North Pacific. Big high pressure ridge still locked in off the coast. Watch for multiple lows from the north to start breaking it down on the long range. Lots of moisture heading towards the BC coast and Alaska, and eventually Washington, Oregon, and maybe California. But we need that high pressure ridge to block. We need it to break down. Much love, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the show today. If you did, please don't forget to give a thumbs up. Get in the comments section. Tell me what you like best. Stay aware and prepared. Stay young and have fun. And get your daily due. Bye-bye now.